Hello everybody, this is Peter from Butler Area Public Library. Recently I had a fun time creating a choose your own adventure for the library, and I thought it might be something fun for you to try too. So today I'm going to walk you through how to make a choose your own adventure using Google Forms. The first thing you will need is a Google account. Google accounts come with a wide array of online tools known as the Google Drive Office Suite. You are given access to an email account through Gmail. You can use their document creator, Google Docs, which is similar to Word. It provides you with a spreadsheet program called Google Sheets, which is equivalent to Excel. But today we will be focusing on their tool called Google Forms. Google Forms is great for creating quizzes and surveys among other products. We're going to use it to create our very own Choose Your Own Adventure. If you do not have a Google account, then you will need to set up one by visiting google.com. Once you arrive at google.com, you will need to go over to the top right of the page to this blue sign in button. Go ahead and click that. And then on the next page, towards the bottom left here, we're going to click on the blue words create account. Then we're going to choose the option for myself. Then you're just going to follow through the next few pages in the prompts by filling in the blanks, creating your account, and once you're done, there are a few different ways that you can get to your Google Drive. I'm going to go ahead and show you my go-to method. The first thing I have to do is go ahead and log in to my Google account. And once I have logged into my Google account, I can see that I've logged in because up here it has my first initial, P for Peter. And then right to the left of that, there is this little square of 9 gray boxes. And if I hover over it, you can see it says Google Apps. That's where you're going to find all of your different applications for your Google account. I go ahead and click on that. And then right here, I see Drive. So that's going to take me directly to my Drive for my Google account. Once I'm there, I go ahead and click New, go down here to More, and choose Google Forms. So you can see we are already starting our very first Google form. Again, this can be used for all sorts of different things. Today we're going to be using it to make a choose your own adventure because it gives us the option of linking different segments of the form together using multiple choice answers. So for any of you who have ever read a choose your own adventure before, you know that you are presented with questions at the end of a segment of text, and depending on which answer you choose, you're going to go to a different portion of the text, which continues you branching down through the story. The first thing we're going to want to do, though, is go ahead and give ourselves a title for our Choose Your Own Adventure. Let's see here. Let's call it The Boy Who Visited the Library. So that's going to be the title for our story. And right below the title here on the main form, we see form description. We're going to go ahead and click in there, and this is where we can start typing our text for the beginning of the story. Once upon a time, a young boy visited the local public library. So we've got our story started, and we need to get ourselves to the spot where we have our first question. So once upon a time, a young boy visited the local public library. He was looking for a good book. As he entered the library, he needed to decide where to look. So now we're going to go ahead and give our boy, or us, the ones who are reading the story, our first option. So we're going to go down here to the segment right below. It says Untitled Question. We're going to go ahead and type in our question. How does he decide where to look for his book? And this is where we want to make sure to have multiple choice chosen right here to the right of the question. You can see if you click on it, there's a lot of different options of things that you can do with Google Forms. But again, since this is a choose your own adventure, we want to keep multiple choice chosen as our option. And then down below that, straight down at the very bottom of the box, we see required. And right now it's kind of grayed out. We want to click on that so that the little circle becomes purple, because we want it to require that you answer this question before you can go to the next segment. Also, to the right of that purple circle now, we want to choose these vertical ellipsis button. We're going to click that, and it's going to show us description or go to section based on answer, and we want to go to section based on answer, because depending on what our answer is, it'll take us to a different section. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to go to option 1 to create our first option or answer for our question. So what's the thing that most people do when they walk into the library? They just walk to the right section, the section they want to look for. So we can say here, he immediately walks to the children's section. But again, we need to have another option. So let's say he asks one of the librarians at the desk, where should he look? So those are going to be our two options. That's going to begin our branch for our story. And then we need to go ahead and create those two sections where those answers are going to take him. So over here on the right of the box, we see a list of options. We can create a new question. We can import questions. We can do different things. The one we want to do, though, is down here. It's the equal sign. We want to go ahead and add a section. And we're going to be actually adding 2 sections. So now we can see we started with 1 section, and now we've got 3. Our second section is going to go ahead and link up to our first answer. And so we're going to title that Children's section. And then our third section, we're going to go ahead and call that Librarian, because he's chosen to speak to one of the librarians. And then up here, where we had our initial answers to our first question, we need to go up here and tell it which section that answer is going to link to. So I'm going to click on continue to next section and change that to section 1, the boy who visited the library, or section 2. We're going to choose section 2. It's children's section. And then here we're going to go ahead and choose section 3, librarian. And so now when you read the story, it's going to look something like this. I'm going to go up here and choose on this section that looks like a little eyeball, and it says preview when I hover over it. And this is where you can test and preview your story as you're going along. So we go ahead and click that, and it shows us, here's our story, the boy who visited the library. Once upon a time, a young boy visited the local public library. He was looking for a good book. As he entered the library, he needed to decide where to look. How does he decide where to look for his book? We have 2 answers. He immediately walks to the children's section, or he asks one of the librarians at the desk where he should look. So we go ahead and choose the first option and click next, and it takes us to children's section. Now obviously there's no text here because we haven't added any yet. We can click back, we can choose the other answer and click next, and we'll see here librarian. And again, there's no text because we haven't added any yet, but we have begun our branching. That is the trademark of a choose your own adventure. And you can have this go all over the place. The only thing I will tell you is that Google Forms has an automatic save feature in it. And so the longer you make your story, the more information it's continually having to save. And so once you get your story to be a certain length, you'll start to notice Google Forms slowing down as it's saving. And that's because your form is getting to be a little too long. And if you make it too long, the saving process and the editing process of this form will become very slow and tedious. So you want to keep your Choose Your Own Adventure on Google Forms to be fairly short, not to have too many options because it will become a little bit unwieldy. But I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to use Google Forms to choose and create your own Choose Your Own Adventure. And if you have any questions, in the description of the video, you will see an email address for our reference librarians where you can email us any questions you might have about the video. And then you also see the phone number for the library if you want to give us a call. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you go ahead and you start making some great Choose Your Own Adventures. And if you do, email us the link to your Choose Your Own Adventure. We'd love to check it out, and hopefully you'll check out ours as well. I'll put the link to that in the description as well. Have a great day, and until we talk again, read on.